Hello, everybody. I'm Eric Nelson with SVC Funding and here in the Bay Area of California. I want to talk today about Bitcoin. And as you can imagine, it's something people have been talking about much more in the past 3 to 5 years. And always people are wanting to know what's going to happen with it. Bitcoin has been really volatile. It's gone up, it's gone down, it's gone up, it's gone down. It looks like an EKG if you go to look at a chart for Bitcoin. What's happening? Well, in the last 12 months, Bitcoin was all the way up to 67,500 in November, no less. 67,500 per Bitcoin. As of January 22nd, it got all the way down to 35,000. So it lost almost 50% of its value in 2.5 months. That's pretty dramatic. Then in this past week, this is March 28th, in this past week, we've seen Bitcoin go up 15% from 41,000 to over 47,000 today. What's happening? Well, as you can imagine, there are many different impactors. One is tech stocks have really gotten clobbered in the last 12 months, and people have begun to look for where else could they find a return on their investment. In particular, if they're trying to build a long-term investment and not looking to retire anytime soon. And so often what happens if you have more money to invest that's over and above your retirement, you already have your retirement on target, then you're looking at what we would call excess cash. And then excess cash might be used to take a little bit bigger risk. In that event, Bitcoin looks like a pretty attractive option. However, again, if you chart it for the last 12 months, you'll see EKG way up, down, up a little bit, plateau, down, up, and so forth. And so what we have found is the biggest impactors on Bitcoin are one, regulation. The government in March decided to create a couple of agencies that are going to focus specifically on regulating the usage of Bitcoin, buying Bitcoin, selling Bitcoin, gains on Bitcoin, write offs, and write downs on Bitcoin. So, one aspect will be taxes, of course, and more regulation. Another will be how it's bought and sold and how often it can be bought and sold. Some countries will not accept Bitcoin. China won't allow you to mine it. In America, there are many companies that are mining Bitcoin, like CleanSpark, for example, a company in Utah. When you look at how people go about mining Bitcoin, the first thing is how many Bitcoins can they mine and what does it take to produce that? And there's right now, there's supposedly only 21 million Bitcoins that are ever going to be able to be mined, which means there's a limit to the number of Bitcoins. And what does all that mean? Well, if you happen to own Bitcoin now or get into Bitcoin sooner than later, it's probably going to be good news for you, where the values will keep on going up because it's a fairly rare resource. Now, with regulations also come the IRS, and with the IRS also come other aspects of this. And what we find is it will usually come down to what your financial planner has to say about what to do with your excess cash. She may tell you or he may tell you that you have already made your retirement or you're on target for your retirement, will keep you saving there. And the excess cash, whatever that amount might be each month, maybe we'll start looking at putting and diversifying your portfolio. Your portfolios are really commonly spoken about as being diverse, not all tech stock, not all in oil futures or in option trading, but or real estate or whatever it may be where you like to put your money. But the reality is you're going to find a portion of your money into all these different categories. And if you already are online for your retirement, then it might be kind of fun to play with Bitcoin. But the cautions are simple. It can go up or down very quickly. It's volatile. The volatility is going to be a very interesting thing to watch because as the regulations begin to sink in internationally, my prediction is you'll see Bitcoin stabilizing and not going way up or way down. It'll become much more of a common currency, maybe not quite like gold or silver, but something like that, where it might be treated almost like a precious metal and probably bought and traded like a precious metal, and of course, taxed as whatever you're gaining in losing on it for that perspective. So what we are watching is the higher interest rates have a big impact on what consumers can do. Higher interest rates usually mean less likely to buy real estate and more likely to probably look at something like Bitcoin. And that could be a good thing right now. After things have begun to calm down a little bit with Russia and Ukraine, Bitcoin has begun to resume its value gain. But If something more severe were to happen there, for example, you would likely see a correction again with Bitcoin going down. So our recommendation is simple: be informed, get as much information as you can, and even find someone who is a Bitcoin really almost a master. He or she, someone that is well versed in what happens with Bitcoin. Read up on it and be well informed. Two, watch what's happening with interest rates, what's happening with oil, what's happening with tech stocks. And as those all move, you'll find probably some segment where you might want to be involved in Bitcoin. For us in the real estate perspective, we always focus on interest rates, not shocking. And we really like to focus on supply and demand. The supply of houses available for sale versus the demand of houses for sale. So, what does Bitcoin do to that? Well, when Bitcoin values go up, people have more money, the demand usually goes up, and values of the homes go up. When Bitcoin goes down, usually demand falls because people have less money for their down payment. And so when demand goes down, values go down. So if you see a significant Bitcoin drop, that's not a bad time to buy real estate. If you see a Bitcoin valuation gain, that's probably the time to hold. So we'll continue to monitor the market and tell you what's happening from our perspective. Please subscribe to us here and keep watching. Put comments here in the comment section and let me know if you have questions. I'm happy to share with you more specifics. Thank you so much for watching and listening. My name is Eric Nelson.